vampire and dragon defeated. Oh, we had our fun. Finished every quest released in 2001. 22 full years of questing, banking a death we cannot do. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2002. Welcome back to February 27th, 2002. We are free to continue on as we've completed all the quests for today. But first, some big net fishing. And starting off with level 58 fishing here. That is leaping salmon, which is not out yet. And also, we've got 2 caskets to open, which is most of the reason we're here. 640 coins, 20 coins. It's mostly coins. And it's also mostly disappointing. But I need fishing and cooking levels and gems, specifically rubies. So I'm going to make this work. I'm being a little bit stubborn here, but I can do whatever I want. Well, as long as it exists in the game at the date we were at and all the other rules, but yeah. I'm choosing to big net fish. Something not many people have said. Here's 3 caskets. Coins, coins, sapphire. Not quite. At least it's a gem though. Closer. 62 cooking. That is a quest requirement. Monkfish. And stop burning giant crab meat and fish cake. Monkfish will be a potential step up in food when that comes out. We will see what fishing and cooking level we are at that point, I suppose. But also, 2 more caskets. Another sapphire. I guess I could still be crafting these, selling them to the shop. That's okay. A little bit more money. That's alright. 59 fishing. No unlocks for that. But we have 4 caskets. Emerald. Nope. Cooking 63. That is a bowl of bass potatoes in Damonheim. And stop burning tuna, mud pie, and apple pie. Alright. And 1 casket for coins. 3 caskets. That is a lot of things. Cosmic talismans don't exist. 2 emeralds. Close. Not quite. 60 fishing. That is a milestone level. Very good. It is boulder bass in Damonheim and catfish. So those will be something. Possibly. Also, 4 caskets. And we get some coins. Oh, our RNG is not in the right place. We caught a big bass, which is 1 in 1,000 bass. And then we burned it. For whatever reason, you can just use the big fish as regular fish. So, here's the message that confirms that we did get it. You catch an enormous bass. And then we just burned it. We would have cooked it anyways, since there's nothing we can do with an enormous bass yet. But that is highly unfortunate. And highly rare. I don't think we've caught 1,000 bass yet. My goodness. So yeah. That's not what I want. 64 cooking. That is baked potato with mushroom and onion, pig swill, and stop burning rainbow fish and lobsters with cooking gauntlets. That's going to be soon here. That's going to be very nice. no more burning lobsters. Aside from that, we got one casket here with some coins. 61 fishing. No unlocks, except for Crimson Skill Champas. Can't do that. What we can unlock is 5 more caskets. Not the right gems. A lot of gems, not the right ones. 65 cooking. That is pineapple pizza. There are some pizzas out, but not this one. So, for us, nothing. Also, that was pretty quick after the previous level, so no caskets either. 5 more caskets. 2 sapphires and a tooth half. That's not what I need. 5 more caskets. Ruby. There we go. That is roughly 1 in 14. So the fact that it took so long to get that is ridiculous. Unfortunately, we also need 2 of them, so we're not done yet. I could go do something else to try to get the other ruby, but that would be less AFK, so here we are. Also going to move this slightly here, so I don't accidentally sell it to the shop. Get it further away from where I'm clicking. So that is the plan here. 66 cooking. That is Boldabass and Gissel potatoes in Daemonheim. Probably never gonna make a potato in Daemonheim. It's not really necessary. But what is necessary is opening 5 more caskets. And we get the next ruby. Beautiful. Well, that's all I needed. But I am incredibly close to a quick fishing level here. I'm also incredibly close to a cooking level. It just happened, but yeah. 1 more fishing level, and then I'll leave. 62 fishing. That is a quest requirement and monkfish. So that's going to be very good. We already got the cooking level for that a while back. So overall, that's good for the future. It's a lot more cooking experience here than fishing, which means we are now like 160,000 XP ahead in cooking, which isn't the worst thing. It means we'll burn everything less in the future. I'm fine with that. But it was also not a good experience at all. It was like 12,000 fishing XP an hour. And a little bit more than that cooking. So, not great. Also, not a particularly fast way of getting rubies, turns out. If that was another ruby, that would have been hilarious. Anyway. Sell off the rest of these fish. It was also a very slow way of making money. We spent a lot more than 5 hours here to get this 51,000 coins. 106,000 total now. At least it's something. We got some fishing XP, some cooking XP, some money, some rubies, and it was AFK, basically. Except for having to drop all the boots and gloves and seaweed and oysters and go with the range, but overall, we got what we came here for. My goodness. So now it's time to go train a different skill. At least for a little bit. Just need to get the Staff of Air back again. Take off the melee armor. I'm assuming ice gloves don't do anything. Should probably check. Ice gloves, do they have any stats? They do not. They just look pretty cool. Yeah, I did it. Anyways, we also need some other runes. Guess we're going to be holding on to the air staff. That'll be fine. Let's get some fire, water, and earth. That should be good for now. So I'm gonna go train magic at chickens because our staff is level 1. 43 magic. That is superheat item. I think that actually exists. Would require us to have nature runes though, and we don't have any of those. 44 magic. Nothing. And now we will prepare for the updates and quest that are to come here. Starting with getting a pickaxe. Grabbing a knife. Some mithril ore in not quite the right place. A unicorn slain for its horn once the death animation's done. Some coal from a correct mine. Make a mithril bar. Get some dwarven stouts, because we still need these. And a hammer. Smith a mithril hatchet. A vial of water. A grimy Marintil. 2 iron newts for the guams that we got inadvertently. 2 attack potions, made and emptied. And now we get to go to Entrana. Oh boy. Take off all the stuff that we can't bring. Temporarily drop it on the ground, which is always terrible. Drop, 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 drop. Entrana. As long as we're here for less than a minute, there's almost 0 risk. And should stay on the ground for up to 3 minutes. I'm not going to push my luck here, though. Grab pestle and mortar. Get out of here. Take the closest monk for maximum speed to get back to my things. Of course, he's standing on top of it. Would you just loot inventory? You'd love to see it. All right. Crush the unicorn horn. Make an anti-poison. Very good. And don't think I need the pestle and mortar right now, so we'll drop that. All that effort to go get it, and it's right back on the ground. Okay. But now I think we can go get in position to talk about the updates. I suppose we might as well start here. On March 18th, 2002, the monks of Entrana have set up some new things to do over on Entrana. I'm not going to be doing that since it's on Entrana, and that is highly awkward for us. But there's now glass blowing, and all that has to do with crafting. They've got a sand pit over on Entrana, also possibly one in Xanaris, which has the same problem for us, but even worse, because we need the Draman staff. We can't just pop into Xanaris if we wanted to. But at the sand pit, you can get buckets of sand. And then, you just need to get some seaweed, which spawns on Entrana, and also, possibly at this point, from big net fishing. And then you just cook up the seaweed to make some soda ash. Combine the soda ash and the bucket of sand in a furnace and get some molten glass. Then you need a glass blowing pipe, which is also on Entrana. Then you just blow the glass into a beer glass at level 1, a vial at level 33, and an orb at level 46. The orb is definitely the most useful one, since you can just get beer glasses from pubs by just drinking a beer. And vials are in stores. But the orb is actually interesting. You can then take your new orb, along with some cosmic runes and elemental runes, to an obelisk. The fire and water obelisks in the deepest part of the Taverley dungeon, and the air and earth obelisk out here in the wilderness portion of the Edgeville dungeon, which is new. We've got thugs, chaos druids, deadly red spiders, skeletons, and black demons. And since they're in the wilderness, they're also aggressive. So that's something. Lots of chaos druids here. And red spider egg spawns over there. A useful area to be in for our herblore purposes in the future. But if you go way past the black demons, you can get to the obelisks. One of them is down here, underground, and the other is up a ladder. All of this is the wilderness, though, so beware. And then, that takes magic levels to cast the charge orb spells. Water at level 56, earth at 60, fire at 63, and air at 66. And then when you have your magical orbs all powered up, you can attach them to battle staffs, which you can purchase over in Varrock at Zaf's Staffs shop. See if he still has these in here. Yep. No, that's just a staff. Okay, battle staffs? He does not. He's got the regular staffs, magic staffs, and then wizard, imp, spider, and batwing stuff, along with some bark and fine cloth. Interesting. That does pose some questions in the future, where we're going to get a battle staff, because eventually we'll be able to make use of it. Well, we will worry about that in the future. We can't actually do anything with the staff anyway at this point. Although we could purchase it as a level 30 staff that doesn't give any runes, if it existed. Which is not great, but at least it would have been something. Apparently, not a thing anymore. I'm not too worried about it. Also, including the wilderness, just one more thing. Black unicorns. Another opportunity for herblore, as there's many, many unicorns. I will have to check to make sure there's nothing absurd in the way out in the current wilderness. But it's low-level wilderness, so maybe it'll be alright. In order to make use of the high magic required for making all these new fancy charge spells, blood runes were also added, with the wave spells. Air wave, water wave, earth wave, and fire wave, going all the way up to level 75. Very strong spells. Of course, blood runes are no longer used for that, but we won't be able to make use of these spells in any way, shape, or form anyways for quite a while anyways, so yeah, it's alright. That's fine. We also got some new employees at Jagex, making use of the whole people buying membership so they can look into continuing to upgrade things, get new servers, hire more people to do things. It's all expanding here. Very interesting times. Going from just some brothers doing a thing starting a company than actually hiring more people. And then the last thing that was added on this day was another new spell requiring level 45 magic. And on a side note, there's level 45 magic. It's not Chain, or the Beginner Wand, or the Law Staff, or a quest requirement. It is Camelot Teleport. So we can, while wielding our air staff, of course, teleport over to Camelot. So let's do so. Now, we completed an achievement there. Fantastic. And now we don't need to run across White Wolf Mountain every time we want to come over here. As long as we still have law runes, I guess. So, we will see how that persists. Either way, we're over here now, which is just fantastic. Because this is where the next updates are going to be happening. But first, a few neat little tidbits from the news posts. On March 19th, 2002, 2 more worlds were added, for a total of 8. 10,000 player capacity, 35 megabits per second of bandwidth. And with the expanding game, more people, more money, plans for even more servers. And it really is expanding quickly here, because on March 22nd, 2002, they had increased it to 40 megabits per second of bandwidth for the entire game. Also, hired a new employee and announced that the new skill and quest would be done soon. And soon they were, because on March 25th, 2002, we get a lot of new stuff. First up, new areas. We got Sears Village. Wow, it's great. Got all sorts of great stuff in Sears Village. There doesn't seem to be a bank here until a future update, which is definitely something. But there's a bank over in Catherby, so that's fine. We do have an anvil, a pub, a spinning wheel, which we will get to, a chapel, and a party room. The party room is moved in 2007 and replaced with a jail, which it's definitely something. But there's no more partying to be had here, unfortunately. And then, if we head a little bit to the south here, we can see the flax field. There's some flax here. Wow. And then we've got the sorcerer tower over here. There is a sorcerer living there. Amazing. And then something that isn't here at all. Down the coast from Keep Lafay, right around this area, where now the Legends Guild stands, there was the Barbarian Outpost, which has since been moved way over there. It's going to be slightly awkward, and one of the larger moving things across the map. I guess that also pertains to the party room. So, interesting that 2 things in this update were spirited away to the other sides of the world. But the Barbarian Outpost is somewhere we are going to need to go. So I'm going to open up this map for this area when I do it, and not be over there. as hilarious as that's going to be. And lastly, to the south here, we have a mine. There should be iron and coal. Instead, there's mithril and coal, which is not as good for making steel, obviously. And since there's not actually mithril here, we can't use this as a convenient mithril mining and smithing location. So, well, that's not going to work out for us. Eventually, we're going to have to figure out better mining and smithing here, but that is a problem for later. For now, we've got different things to do. Like the fletching skill, which now exists. We've got trees, which you can slice up with a knife to make arrow shafts from regular logs. And then, short bow's a level 1. Should probably check that. Fletching. It's a thing. No, short bows are definitely at level 5. Yeah, we have to start with arrow shafts, which are a whopping 5 experience per regular log. So it's not ideal. But once we get past that, things will improve. Well, I don't think they're going to improve when we get to short bows, since that's still the same amount of experience. But at least we can actually do something more with the short bows. Technically, the arrow shafts are useful here, because arrows are now a thing that you can make with fletching. Just need to go get some feathers, and then smith some arrowheads to make arrows. Everything from bronze to rune arrows. So that'd be good. What we need to do here is a significant chunk of chopping regular trees, which now have a purpose here with the fletching skill. There's still fire making, and there's still the only logs that can be used for fire making for the entirety of Classic. But they're more useful making arrow shafts, predominantly. But once we get a higher fletching level here, we can move on to all the other logs from all the other trees. Because this update also added oak, willow, maple, yew, and magic trees. Their logs, short bows, and long bows. The long bows were eventually changed with Evolution of Combat to be shield bows. A bow with a shield on it. Not that longbows were ever particularly useful. Well, that's okay. And we're probably not going to be using them either for that purpose as a ranged weapon. It's a thought for the future, I suppose. But if you want to make some bows, you're going to need bowstring, which is where we run into a bit of a problem. In order to make bowstring, you need flax, which you can pick here in the flax field, to no one's surprise whatsoever. But to someone's surprise somewhat, picking the flax now gives farming experience. So we can't collect tons and tons of flax effectively to train crafting, making the bowstrings here, and then make a whole bunch of bows. Because that would give us farming levels, which obviously is not ideal, as farming is not a thing yet. Also, I think the experience and level of bowstrings has also been changed. Much in a making so you could start fletching and making useful things faster. As the whole new player experience of you can't make a bowstring until 10 crafting, you can't make a bow until 5 fletching. Start you off by just being able to actually make things. But our crafting level is well above the 10 that would have been required to make a bowstring there. So we are going to be very sparing with any bowstrings that we make, just because it's going to be not super authentic getting those tiny bits of farming XP. I don't anticipate us getting dozens and dozens of bow strings to make bows or anything, so it's probably not going to be a problem in the long run, but that's okay. So what we need to do, if we want to make any other bows, is plenty of woodcutting, which is also going to get us levels. Like 37 woodcutting here is a quest requirement. And then we just need to keep fletching things, specifically arrow shafts for now. And there is finally level 2 fletching. And that is nothing at all. So yeah, when it's 25 woodcutting experience to 5 fletching experience, it's all a little bit off. Especially the start of fletching here. I think I'm just going to do a little bit of fletching here. Get some levels. So we can move on up to at least the oaks here. Not that we really need fletching right now, but oh boy are we going to need fletching in the near future. So this will all be fine. But it's going to take a little bit of time here. 5 experience per log. 3 fletching. That is Tingle Gum Traps in Daemonheim. Really don't use a lot of the skills in Dungeoneering. The systems are there, it's just, at this point, not particularly useful. Oh well. 4 fletching. That is nothing. 5 fletching. That is a milestone, achievement, all that. And a quest requirement for ogre arrows. And for us, actually, short bows at level 5. Unfortunately, short bows still only give 5 experience each. The additional value of this is the potential of putting a bowstring on them. But for regular short bows, that's kind of a waste of a bowstring. What we could, in theory, do here is sell the short bows to a shop for 6 coins, which is obviously not great. For the same amount of experience and having to run back over here, 6 coins is not worth it. So we're just going to keep making arrow shafts. Unfortunately. 6 fletching. That is the Tanglegum Longbow in Daemonheim. Nope. 38 woodcutting. That's the thing that's going to be happening here. No unlocks, though. 7 fletching. That is Bronze Brutal Arrows. That's not a thing until Zogre Flesh Eaters, like it says right here. 8 fletching. That is Tanglegum Staff and Wand, also in Daemonheim. 9 fletching. That's Bronze Bolts, not a thing, for the Bronze Wood Crossbow variants. And it's only variants because two-handed crossbows and offhand crossbows were added also later, and wooden stock for said crossbows. But yeah, we still only have regular crossbows, and possibly Phoenix crossbows. They're both terrible, and not worth mentioning at all. But yeah, the crossbow update, that's going to be something else. Not today. 10 fletching. That's an achievement, milestone, all sorts of good stuff. A quest requirement, Sleeping Elm into arrow shafts in Daemonheim, and the shield bow. As it was previously known, the longbow. This gives twice as much experience per regular log here, which is fantastic. From 5 to 10. So literally twice as fast, as it doesn't take longer to actually make the bow. And we can sell them here for 18 coins. That's still not a lot. I think we're probably best off just going and dropping a bunch of longbows on the ground. It's not ideal, but it's better than running back here constantly. I guess we would technically try to go find a different bank closer to a bunch of regular trees. And I mean, we can teleport. That's actually a decent idea. Would save me from having to drop everything on the ground. So, I will figure this out. 11 fletching. And the answer was over here where we did the first big grind of woodcutting and fire making. Right outside Falador. That unlocks opal-tipped bronze bolts, bronze darts, Bathus arrows, and Sleeping Elm shortbow. Darts are actually sooner than you expect. But the rest of this, also not a thing yet. So here we have the Falador General Store, where we can just sell all the shield bows, which are longbows. You get 288 coins per inventory here. It's not a lot, but at least it's something. And I don't have to drop all these longbows. So I will take it. 39 wood cutting. Nothing. 12 fletching. Nothing. 13 fletching. That is Sleeping Elm traps in Daemonheim. Upgrades. 14 fletching. Nothing. 15 fletching. That is iron arrows, which are a thing now, and we can make them. Wild. 16 fletching for the Sleeping Elm longbow. Good. 40 woodcutting. Milestone achievement, all that. That is a quest requirement, spine beam trees, and fractite hatchets in Daemonheim. It really is just an entire second game down in there, basically. 17 fletching. Nothing. 18 fletching. That is iron brutal arrows, Sleeping Elm staffs, and wands. There's a lot of things in fletching that aren't in fletching yet. Well, that's fine. We're mostly just here for the bows, and possibly some arrows in the future, but for right now, bows, as you have seen. Yeah. 19 fletching for nothing. And there is 20 fletching. The bad portion of the skill is now behind us, because this unlocks oak short bows, and also arrow shafts from Blood Spindle. That's fine. And oak short bows means we no longer have to chop regular trees, and that's fantastic. So now we need to find some oak trees. There's some oak trees right here, but that's not really how this works. Interestingly, at least for all of RuneScape Classic here, oak trees and logs and everything better than that are members. There's technically a few oak trees over by Remington, but besides that, all the new cool trees and all the cool logs, that's over in the members areas. And so for us, that means over in around Camelot, and Sears Village, Catherby, and all that. So here we have all sorts of trees which have been moved around. In general, there are oak trees in the area here. All around near Sears, near the bank, which doesn't exist yet. We can find some oak trees around here in an appropriate location. Would want them as close to Catherby here as possible, since that would be the best location, closest to the general store. See if we can find a good spot here. Okay. The distribution of trees is, unsurprisingly, a little bit off compared to what it was 21 years ago. So, we're going to go with this bunch of trees right here. Supposedly there is one tree near here, another tree in the field. The 8 trees near the bank have been switched out for different ones, and it really depends on people's definition of near. So we're just going to go with these trees right here. But more accurate than the oak trees right next to Catherby. Because as it was new areas, the new stuff is all in the new areas. And that's fine. And this is where we start having to worry about the mithril hatchet. 41 woodcutting. That is the rune hatchet. We will get into that later. And Viridian skill champas. But mithril hatchet is obviously not the best we could be using here. But still okay. So we can get our oak logs here. And then unfortunately, the whole pop-up thing here makes us stop running. So we can't fletch and run at the same time. But oak short bows are 16 fletching speed each. And the trees have more than one log inside. So that means less running around all over the place to do fletching. And we'll see how long of a run it is over here to the Catherby General Store. See which direction is also better. Could go south, perhaps. Also would be an option. Probably would not want to run through the field here, since we'd have to constantly open this gate, and that would just be unnecessary. If we just pop over here back into Catherby, can sell these for 15 coins each, so less than the shield bows. Wild. They're short bows instead. Guess that's fine. Could potentially be worth just dropping those because of having to run further here. That'd be more annoying. We will see how we feel. And we also are going to unlock new locations which might have better, more appropriate oak trees near banks. Well, not banks, general stores. The bank locations don't help us in the slightest. But yeah, we could technically make ourselves an oak shortbow. That'd be an idea. Then we would need better arrows. We could train range better. There is options and goals now. And with that done, I think it's time for the quest. And that is right here, Scorpion Catcher. But it requires the bar crawl. And that is a mini quest. The first actual mini quest, since Sheep Shearer and Witch's Potion were regular quests before. And the bar crawl has some complications. But before we do that, we have 3,420 arrow shafts, which would sell to the store for 0. Apparently they were selling for 3, so... But that's not accurate or appropriate. So we're just going to drop these on the ground. Could technically make some arrows. Not really feeling like it. We've got a bar crawl to do. And we should be starting at the Barbarian Outpost right here. But it's not here. So we get to run on over to where it actually is. Wild. Blazing a trail across places that don't exist to get to a place that isn't where it used to be. Look at all these music track unlocks. My goodness. But here we are at the Barbarian Outpost, where we want to be able to go inside here later. Oi, what you want? I want to come through this gate. Barbarians only. Are you a barbarian? You don't look like one. You got me there. Or we can say, looks can be deceiving. I am, in fact, a barbarian. If you're a barbarian, you need to be able to drink like one. We barbarians like a good drink. I have the perfect challenge for you. The Alfred Grimhand Bar Crawl. First completed by Alfred Grimhand. That's probably why they call it that. Except, the guard hands you a bar crawl card. Take that card to each of the bars named on it. The bartenders will know what it means. We're kind of well known. They'll give you their strongest drink and sign your card. When you've done all that, we'll be happy to let you in. Very good. If we read the card here, we can see 10 different bars we need to go to. A lot of them called inns. There's a bar in and in. Either way. Originally, there were only 6. So we will go to the 6 that existed first here. With our handy-dandy teleports, we can get all around the places that the places that actually exist at this point. Like Varrock. Here we are in Varrock. This will be a good spot to start our bar crawl. We'll start over here at the Blue Moon Inn. Let's run on in and talk to the bartender. What can I do you for? I am doing Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl. Oh, not another of you guys. These barbarian bar crawls cause too much damage to my bar. You're going to have to pay 50 gold for the Uncle Humphrey's Gut Rot. You buy some Uncle Humphrey's Gut Rot, you drink the Uncle Humphrey's Gut Rot, your insides feel terrible. The bartender signs your card. Blarg. The Gut Rot, indeed. These are some strong alcohols. That's going to diminish all of our stats, do some damage. All around, it's a bit of a mess out here. But nothing we can't handle. And now, we just need to go to 5, but actually 9 other drinking establishments. First one is easy enough to get to here. Just need to get over to the Jolly Boar Inn, outside of Varrock. Run past this empty field here with no giant holes in it, and get into here. Basically, we just need to talk to the bartenders in each location. That's typically how this kind of thing works. Can I help you? I am doing Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl. Ah. There seems to be a fair few doing that one these days. My supply of Old Suspicious is starting to run low. Costs you 10 coins. You buy a pint of Old Suspicious, you gulp it down, your head is spinning. The bartender signs your card. Thanks very much. And our stats are getting destroyed here. So much so that teleporting around is actually going to be a problem. But I think we can solve that in Falador here. That should be, hopefully, the only one that drains magic. But we do have a solution here. So, we can make some progress here at the Rising Sun. Talk to Emily. I'm doing the bar crawl. This will be fun. You'll be after our Hand of Death cocktail, then. Lots of expensive parts of this cocktail, though, so it'll cost you 70 coins. You buy a Hand of Death cocktail, you drink the cocktail. You stumble around the room. The barmaid giggles. And the barmaid signs your card. Our decreased stats bar is going absolutely crazy. And apparently does not include minuses to smithing and crafting here. So that's interesting. We also need to get ourselves some mind bombs. That should sort us out. I was gonna buy quite a few of these, just to make sure we can get our magic back up to where we want it to be. It's It's going to decrease our other stats. That's a problem for future me. And having decreased other stats is actually not a huge deal. That should work. And if none of the other drinks decrease our magic level, it's not going to be a problem either way. Alright. So that was those three. Just 3/7 to go. Our next stop is over here in Port Sarim at the Rusty Anchor. Good day to you. Hello there. I'm doing Upper Grimhand's Bar Crawl. Are you sure? You look a bit skinny for that. Just give me whatever I need to drink here. Okay, 1 Black Skull Ale coming up. 8 coins, please. You buy a Black Skull Ale, you drink the Black Skull Ale, your vision blurs. Hic! And the bartender signs your card. Defense and attack seem to be really the stats that are getting destroyed here. That's okay. We just need to wait around for a while. Wouldn't that be the first time that I kind of just stand around waiting for my stats to restore? But I think it was mostly hit points that other time, but I'm not too worried about it either way. We must carry on. There's that bronze hatchet on a counter there. Very useful. Over here in Brimhaven at the Dead Man's Chest, where the bartender is not one of the 2 pirates behind the bar here. Okay, it's fine. Yo ho ho, me hearty. What would you like to drink? I'm doing Alfred Grimhand's Bar Crawl. Aha! Time to be breaking out the old super grog. That'll be 15 coins, please. The bartender serves you a glass of the strange, thick, dark liquid. You wince and drink it. You stagger backwards. You see 2 bartenders signing 2 bar crawl cards. My goodness. And now, there's just 1 bar left. /5. And we need to get over to Sears Village. Right in time, our magic level regains to 45. Brilliant. Love to see it. Teleport to Camelot, because it's not Sears Village teleport. And run on over to the Forester's Arms. Right here on the edge of town. Try not to attack any of the people that are hanging out here. That's not very helpful. And talk to the bartender. Good morning. What would you like? I'm doing the bar crawl. Alfred Grimhand's Bar Crawl, specifically. Oh, you're a barbarian then. Now, which of these barrels contains the Liverbane Ale? That'll be 18 coins, please. Bartender gives you a glass of Liverbane Ale. You gulp it down. The room seems to be swaying. The bartender scrawls his name on your card. And that would be that. Interestingly, the Karamja Spirits Bar at Musa Point was already in the game at this point. Apparently not included because they just sold the Karamja rum, possibly. Either way, we need to get back to Karamja and also do more things out in places that don't exist. But we will start at the one that actually we can get to. And we will get there via normal means. And that means back to Falador, back to Port Sarim. Easy enough. Okay. Zambo is hanging out outside and around the corner here of his bar. Wild. Hey, you want to try some of my fine wines and spirits? All brewed locally on Karamja. And this is the Karamja Wines and Spirits bar. I'm doing the bar crawl. Alvin Grimhand's bar crawl. Ah, you'll be wanting some Ape Bite liquor. Then. It's got a lovely banana taste. It only costs you 7 coins. You buy some 8-bite liquor, you swirl around and swallow it, Zambo signs your card. That was lovely. Alright. And that takes care of the location that actually exists. And now it's off for a wild ride. Off to locations way off the beaten path for us. So far off the beaten path, the path doesn't even exist. That's how things are going here. We need to go to 3 completely different places. And we're going to see how many music tracks we unlock along this shenanigan-filled trek. As far as I can tell, this was probably changed when the Barbarian Outpost was moved with RuneScape 2. But doesn't matter. We have to do it right now anyways. Let's go. I suppose I could technically put this stuff in a time travel segment, but it's not like this replaced the bar crawl and I would be doing the bar crawl when this was changed, because it's required for lots of things at different times, before it changes, after it changes. It's all a bit of a mess. But here we are at the Flying Horse Inn in Ardoin. This is going to be here pretty soon. I mean, all these are going to be here much sooner than the bar crawl changes. So, I don't know. Why it was changed, also reasonable question. I guess it felt, especially after they moved the outpost, it definitely felt like less of a bar crawl to not go to all the new bars. Wonder what would change if this was increased again. Make new bar crawl to all the new bars. It also helps that none of the bars here are locked behind any quests or anything, because that would definitely be complicated. Would definitely mix up some stuff if that was the problem. Luckily, it's not that. We're going to be just fine. Talk to the bartender here. Would you like to buy a drink? What do you serve? Beer. Anything special for the Alpha Grimhand's bar crawl? Fancy a bit of Heartstopper then, do ya? It'll only be 8 coins. Bartender hands you a shot of Heartstopper. You grimace and drink it. You collect your chest. Ow. Through your tears, you see the bartender signing your bar crawl card. That one did some damage. My goodness. Dangerous. Kinda. Not really. Next. Here is the Dragon Inn in Yanil. We are way off the map at this point. My goodness. Where can I get you? What's on the menu? Dragon Bitter and Green Man's Ale. Oh, and some cheap beer too. I'm doing Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl. I suppose you'll be wanting some fire brandy. That'll cost you 12 coins. Bartender hands you a small glass and sets light to the contents. You blow out the flame and drink it. Your vision blurs and you stagger slightly. You can just about make out the bartender signing your bar crawl card. It's interesting that none of these fancy drinks are actual things. They just exist in the chat box here. That is very, very RuneScape classic. Even if these additional ones were added in RuneScape 2. Wild. Yeah, keeps it all self-contained and on theme, I suppose. If we check our list here, there's just one more to go. Just outside the grand tree here, Femi interrupts us. Hello there. Hi. Could you help me lift these boxes? They're really heavy. Oh, sure. Might as well. Thanks, traveler. If we check out this cart here, we put the boxes into the cart. Thanks again, friend. Actually, no, we don't. We make the boxes disappear. That's definitely what's supposed to happen. All right. Okay, that's fine. Wild. And here is Blurberry's bar in the Grand Tree. I'm doing Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl. Ah, you've come to the best stop on your list. Give me my famous Fire Toad Blast. Costs you 10 coins. You buy a Fire Toad Blast, your mouth and throat burn as you gulp it down. Blurberry assigns your card. I take a little bit more damage again. Now if we try to read the card, too drunk to be able to read the bar crawl card. Brilliant. And now we're done. How did I get here? Is the bar crawl done? I'm too drunk to read the card. It's probably fine. So how's the bar crawl coming along? I think I just about done them all, but I lost count. Give the card to the barbarian. Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl mini quest complete. Gives us access to the Barbarian Outpost Agility course, which doesn't exist yet. But we can go inside this gate, and that's what we're really here for. Yep, that seems fine. You can come in now. I had to learn to read. We look like you've drunk plenty. Oh, I'm sure of it. I feel like I went to places that don't even exist. That is how much that was a thing. And with that out of the way, we can go back to places that do exist for a little bit until we go back to the Barbarian Outpost, which is in the wrong place still, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We've got the quest to do. Scorpion Catcher. Let's go. The quest starts here at Sorcerer's Tower, where he has 4 magic trees out here in the yard, and the entrance through the hedge is offset by 1 compared to the door. We just need to head into the tower here and go to the top floor, where we can talk to the sorcerer. Lots of floors here. Just hanging out with the magical runes. Way up here at the top. It is Thormac. Hello, I'm Thormac the Sorcerer. I don't suppose you could be of assistance to me. What assistance do you need? I've lost my pet scorpions. They're lesser Caridian scorpions, a very rare breed. I left their cage door open. Now I don't know where they've gone. There's 3 of them, and they're quick little beasties. They're all over Gillinor. What's in it for me? Well, I suppose I can aid you with my skills as a staff sorcerer. Most battle staffs around here are a bit puny. I can beef them up for you a bit. Scorpion Catcher, accept. Okay, I will do it. How would I go about catching scorpions? Well, I have a scorpion cage here, which you can use to catch them in. Good. If you go up to the village of Sears, to the north of here, one of them will be able to tell you where the scorpions are now. Fair enough. Interesting that he doesn't know where they are, and yet also claims they're all over the world. I mean, technically they could be, but he doesn't know that. Also got a scorpion cage here. It's empty. No scorpions to be seen. That's clearly a problem. So we're going to go talk to a seer about these scorpions. And that is easily accomplishable right up here in Sears Village. The Sorcerer's Tower has a sorcerer. The Sears Village has Sears. It really is all working out here. Talk to a seer. What was that dark force? I never sensed anything like it. That is a reference to a completely different thing. And it's really weird that that's still their first dialogue every time. No, that's alright. Anyway, sorry about that. I need help with scorpions. Many greetings. I need to locate some scorpions. Well, you have come to the right place. I'm a master of animal detection. Perfect. Do you need to locate any particular scorpion? Scorpions are a creature somewhat in abundance. I'm looking for some lesser Charid scorpions. They belong to Thormak the Sorcerer. Let me look into my looking glass. The seer produces a mirror. The seer gazes into the mirror. The seer smooths his hair with his hand. I can see a scorpion that you seek. It resides in a dark place between a lake and a holy island. There, by the entrance, shall you find it. So close and yet so far. That was cryptic. Can't you just tell me where it is? Where would be the fun in that? Alright. And this is where it slightly diverges from the original version of Scorpion Catcher here. We need to go get this first scorpion before we can get hints for the other ones. But this is not the one scorpion that we were told of first in the RuneScape Classic version. Overall, it's the same 3 scorpions in the same 3 places. Just the order was changed for whatever reason. But for this one, we need to go into the Taverley Dungeon. Basically, all the way through it. And so, we're going to get some food. Specifically, some lobsters here in Catherby. The seer said that the scorpion was near the entrance, but so far away. And since we can see through walls from this top-down perspective here, there is the Charid scorpion. He's right there. And that means we need to go through the entire dungeon. If agility existed, we could jump over this floor, but that is definitely a very high agility requirement for trying to go do Scorpion Catcher. We'll be fine just going through the dungeon normally. But that does mean we need to go all the way to the Black Knight's hideout down the very southern bit of the dungeon. Get the key from killing the jailer and giving the jail key. Well, we just get the jail key. There's a fairly new thing where you can give the jail key to the guy in the jail and actually set him free. But that is not a thing yet. Makes it so he goes outside the dungeon and you don't need to mess with it. Also, key rings and all that business. Or storing a key in your bank and taking it out when you need to go through the dungeon. We have none of those options. Because this whole silly Ultimate Ironman business. So we just get to run on in here. None of the Black Knights seem to care. Of course, they're level 30 and we are level 69, so even if they did care, there's not much they can do about it. Attack the jailer. He's level 39, so he's still strong enough to slightly care, I guess. Take him out. Take the key. Open the door. It's locked. We'll use the key on it. There you go. And we'll drop our lobster pot here. Get the key back from him. He seems to have a unlimited selection of these dusty keys. So, that's good. And then we just take our dusty key here and continue through the dungeon. Back when the blue dragons were aggressive, going and getting a anti-dragon shield would have been the correct choice. But as long as we don't accidentally click on the dragon, which we will not do, we should be able to just get through here with relative ease. It really is interesting what things are aggressive and what things aren't. Because Chaos Dwarves are, Lesser Demons are, Dragons aren't. You would think that these blue dragons would be aggressive. What with the whole us intruding into their area with their eggs here and all their young. I don't know. They're just kind of chill. That's fine by me. So this is where we got to during Hero's Quest, to fish some lava eels. So now we get to continue just a tad further, where we get to run past some black demons. They're level 98. They've got magic. Got some poison spiders here. Over there we've got the obelisks and black dragons. All sorts of good stuff. Let's use the scorpion cage with the scorpion. We went through this odd wall. This is a secret door. It's pretty cool. Let's go running in here a little bit further. Past the scorpions. Let's have some monks of Zamorak over here. And I'm not trusting myself to see if the black dragons are aggressive. Seems like a poor choice. And there's also hellhounds here. I think I was reading on the list of monsters added with the members update. They did not list hellhounds, even though they're here in the Taverley dungeon eventually. So, possibly not hellhounds yet. Hard to say. Not like they drop anything anyways, so I'm not hugely concerned about it. But we managed to avoid getting poisoned by the poison spiders, so that's fantastic for us. And now we need to get out of here. That means wield the air staff, teleport to Camelot. Brilliant. If we had gotten poisoned, it wouldn't have really been a huge deal. Because poison is not too much of a problem these days. But the anti-poison was a good failsafe if things were going badly. So we got the first scorpion. We come back and talk to the seer. He again feels a dark force that isn't explained every single time you talk to him. And we talk about Scorpion Catcher. I have retrieved the first scorpion. Well, I've checked my looking glass. The second Carid scorpion has been spirited away by a brute of a man. He runs a shop in a village 2 canoe trips from Lumbridge. That's all I can tell you about that scorpion. Any more scorpions? It's good that you should ask. I have information on the last scorpion for you. Seems to be in some sort of upstairs room. There's some brown clothing lying on a table nearby. Oh, come on now. Brown clothing? That's not a clue. Alright, alright. The clothing is adorned with a golden 4-pointed star. Happy now? Not really. Fine. You should go to where monks reside. Up a tree? Monks, not monkeys. He's getting a little fed up with our shenanigans here. And so, that is a hint towards Barbarian Village. And also, the monastery. So let's head over that way via teleport to Varrock. Since we already knew that the Barbarian Outpost is going to be involved, we could technically just run over there and get the Scorpion now. But we're going to go get the full experience by heading over to Barbarian Village first. And this is also another slight deviation from the original, where you had to do all 3 Scorpions in a particular order. Now you just need to do the first Scorpion, and then the second and third one are, you get the hints for both of them. Wild. So over here in our 2 canoe trips, which also is a thing that doesn't exist, the whole river-lung canoe system. Which, that doesn't make any sense before canoes exist. And there's a penguin. Lots of things. Slightly different. If we talk to Pexa here. Are you interested in buying or selling a helmet? Nope. I've got the helmet that I need from you already. But I've heard that you have a small scorpion in your possession. Now, how could you know about that, I wonder? Mind you, I don't have it anymore. I gave it as a present to my brother Ivor when I visited our outpost in the west. Well, actually I hid it in his room so it would nip him. It was a bit of a surprise gift. So where's this outpost? It's a fair old trek to the west, across the White Wolf Mountains. Then head west, northwest, till you see the axes and horned helmets. Thanks for the information. No problem. Till Ivor, I said hi. And that little bit of information would also have presumably led you the correct direction to Barbarian Outpost. Back when it was where it was. And so, we just need to head over there. But first, since we're in the area, head to the monastery. Because it is right over here, past the giant demon. That's fine. Everything's fine. Not gonna worry about it. Over here in the monastery, we just need to head upstairs since we are already in the monastery with our high enough prayer level here, which would have been an actual requirement for the quest, besides just going and doing the bar crawl. And here is the Carid Scorpion next to the monk robes. The seer also mentioned the gold star on the monk robes, and there did not used to always be that gold star, so that bit of dialogue was also changed. A lot of small changes, even in very simple quests. All kind of adds up over the years. Especially when you move entire structures to different places. So that's a whole thing. And now we need to head to the Barbarian Outpost, which is over beyond. And since we've done the bar crawl, we can just go right inside here. Perfect. And the scorpion is hanging out right here. It's very visible, and the barbarians haven't taken care of it. Maybe they are counting it as a pet. But also, it could probably be eating these chickens, so probably best we get it out of here either way. And then instead of just walking over to the Sorcerer's Tower, because it's nearby, we have to teleport again. I'm really getting my money's worth on these law runes that I didn't spend any money on and just got as drops. It's working out. It really is. Going to have to figure out how many law runes we're going to have in total from anything. We can get them from drops from a lot of things, but don't want to run out of law runes. That would be pretty bad. Except for times when I want to be out of law runes for inventory's sake. I don't know. We have 150 right now, so that should last us for a little bit at least. But we got all the scorpions. So just need to head back up here and finish the quest by talking to Thormac. How goes your quest? I have retrieved all your scorpions. Aha, my little scorpions, home at last. Quest complete. We get 6,625 strength experience, which is less than the 7,375 that we should have gotten, so that's all fine. And Thormac can now upgrade elemental battle staffs to mystic battle staffs for 40,000 coins. So definitely a reasonably high price for that. Here's the enchant staffs option. It'd be air, water, earth, and fire would be the ones that exist. And it's very different stats changes for the whole battle staffs to mystic battle staffs. In RuneScape Classic, it was pretty much just a melee stats upgrade, since you would bash your enemies in with the staff and do magic at the same time. So once you upgrade the staff with Thormac here, it was actually pretty good at smacking. Even seems like the actual Staff of Air was actually better for magic somehow. Fascinating. Not that we really need to worry about that. What we would get is an upgrade from a level 30 Air Battle Staff to a level 40 Mystic Air Battle Staff. Neither of which we can actually have. So it's unfortunate, for sure. But that's okay. We just need to go and train magic on chickens with an air staff. So we need to make a little bit of space here. Guess we dropped the anti-poison since we didn't even need it. Or we can just keep hold of it. It's fine too. Inventory nice and full. Head back over to Lumbridge, where we can go train our magic from level 45 to a much, much higher level. All at chickens, because this is the staff we have, and we don't have any other options. Here we go. And a correction on the RuneScape Classic magic weapon stats. Clicked on the regular battle staff accidentally, and that does in fact have less magic power than the regular staffs and the battle staffs and such. Battle staffs, regular staffs, and enchanted staffs all had the same magic stat. It was just the melee aim and power that was increased each time. So basically, the Mystic Battle Staff was more of a melee weapon by the end. But still, that doesn't concern us since we can't get one, and that's not how stabs work anymore. No melee hits allowed whatsoever. Evolution of combat, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, chickens. So many chickens. 46 magic. That is a quest requirement. Also, the thought occurs to me that I could have been picking up feathers here and put those on all of those arrow shafts that I had. Could have gotten a little bit of fletching experience from that, even if I wasn't going to go and make a bunch of arrowheads. Whatever. We're gonna be fine. Chickens. 58 Constitution. We're also getting experience in Constitution. No unlocks though. 47 magic. That is Water Blast. We don't really have much use for higher level spells. We're technically casting Air Blast, but it's downscaled to level 1 still, because of the staff. Eventually, spells will be helpful, I guess. I'm gonna be here a while. 48 magic. That is the Tome of Frost. Dungeoneering. 49 magic. That is a quest requirement. Ruby tipped and crossbow bolt enchantment. And level 3 enchantment in general. So that means if we get another ruby from somewhere that is not big net fishing, we can make a strength amulet. So that's pretty neat. 50 magic. And this is a big one. Milestone, achievement, all that. And just an absolute pile of unlocks. There's a quest requirement. Snare, Slayer Dart, Ancient Spellbook, Smoke Rush, Sacred Clay, Arcane Blast Necklace, Sacred Clay Staff, Slayer Staff, Ivan Staff, Ancient Staff, Penance Trident, Apprentice Wand, Empowered Water Staff in Daemonheim, Dusk Widow Queen in Daemonheim, Wizard Mind Bomb, increases your magic level by 3, so that's fun. The Runic Staff, Mystic Wand and Orb, Bow Strangler Staff in Daemonheim, Enhanced Ancient Staff, Bow Strangler Wand in Daemonheim, and Duskweed Orb in Daemonheim. So that's a lot. I think out of this, we have the Wizard Mind Bomb increase, so that's good. And eventually, Ivan Staff might be useful for us as a level 50 staff. Although also Slayer Staff, Ancient Staff, there's options. Although also, we'll have a level 60 staff by then, and be level 60 magic, so doubtful. Either way, that is 50 magic. Pretty good. 51 magic. That is Ardoin Teleport, once that exists. Also, I'm picking up some feathers now. The loot inventory here cannot handle all the chicken drops, so just some feathers, unfortunately. 52 magic. That is Shadow Rush. Ancient magics. Very, very something. 53 magic. That is Earth Blast and the Nature Staff. Cool. 59 Constitution. More life points. 54 magic. That is Padawan Teleport. Neat. There is level 55 magic. A very important level. Not for the Graphite Orb, Graphite Wand, Wild Magic, Teacher's Wand, or Graphite Staff, but for high level alchemy. That will allow us to get more money when we alch things. Whenever we actually have some nature runes, but still, very nice. No more low alching things. Fantastic. 56 magic. That is a quest requirement. Blood Rush and Charge Water Orb. So now if we had a battle staff, we could make... Oh, can we make a water battle staff? Close enough. But we can't. And a water battle staff would not be too helpful anyways. So here we are. 57 magic. That is a quest requirement. Diamond tipped Hammock Crossbow Bolt enchanting. And level 4 enchant in general. So, assuming that we got 70 crafting and a diamond, we can make a power amulet. Probably not going to do that for a while, but good to have. There's another diamond thing we're probably going to be making sooner than that. All depends on when we get things, I guess. 60 Constitution. That is Portent of Restoration 7 in Daemonheim. Sure. And just more health in general. Good. 58 magic. That is Watchtower Teleport and Ice Rush. Cool. And lastly, 59 magic. That is a quest requirement, another quest requirement, and Fire Blast. After roughly 10 hours of one-shotting chickens, we're done here. And now, we can finally play the game. Next time. Goodbye.